Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the ultimate modern house of 2019 in Minecraft. Please do remember that if you enjoy these tutorials to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box and you won't miss a video. We wouldn't want that, would we? But without any further ado, let's get started. So just before we start building, ladies and gentlemen, here are all of the materials that we are going to be using to make our awesome modern base. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those and enough of those materials as well. The amount of space required to make the base is a 27 by 31 block area, as represented by the red concrete rectangle. Do feel free to make this grid in your world if you want to better plan out this build. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to, gather all that stuff, make sure you have enough of it, make sure you've got enough room to make this, make sure that you're ready to make one of the most awesomest bases that we have ever made, and once you're ready, we can begin. Step 1, modern base mates. Come all the way to the front left hand corner of the grid. If you've not made the grid seriously, it's no big deal, we're starting here anyway. I want you to dig in the ground, going right, a row of 27 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We are then going to place in that row of 27 a row of block of quartz. I want you to take the 27th block, which is all the way over here on the right, and I want you to place a block of quartz on top of the 27th block. Extend that block backwards by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then to the left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Go right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And extend upwards by 1. You can also connect back to the front of the build on the ground if you like. You'll end up with a shape that should look like this. That's going to be quite important later, so don't forget that we will be coming back to this. What I then want you to do is I want you to come to the block that we extended upwards. I want you to extend it towards the back of the build by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I then want you to extend it across the back of the build by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to extend that block up 1. Stick yourself a quartz slab on top. I want you to extend the slab forwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But come back and extend that slab to the right also by 2. 1, 2. To which we then want to place a block of quartz right of that. And we want to extend the block of quartz upwards by 2. 1, 2. We're then going to extend right across the back of the build by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And as an anchor point, feel free to also connect that down to the ground. However, we want to take that 17th block and coming towards the front of the build, place a row of 20 block of quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We then want to extend down, left by 3, 1, 2, 3, join down to the ground, like this. Take the block that hit the ground and extend it forwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What we then want to do is extend that 9th block across, going right this way by 2, 1, 2, place 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, 3 block of quartz, 1, 2, 3, 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, 3 block of quartz, 1, 2, 3, extend backwards by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, extend left by 2, 1, 2, place 3 glass pane going left, 1, 2, 3, and also then place a block of quartz going left. We want to do 2 things though. Number 1, we want to extend this block of quartz further to the left by about 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but importantly, we want to, on top of this block of quartz, go up by 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now, what we then want to do is take this 3rd block and we want to extend it backwards by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to extend this 11th block to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will see that, not so coincidentally, this block here will connect backwards and join here. What we also want to do is we want to come all the way back to this point. This is the block that we extended backwards. We want to use quartz slab and extend this quartz block to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll notice that it joins underneath this quartz block here. But also, quite importantly, on top of this block, if we move up the row, you want to stick a quartz slab on top of this, extend the quartz slab to the right by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then backwards by 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then if you extend right by 9, just like we did below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then if we join backwards, we will have done the outlines for the roof of the house. We have actually done a large portion of what we need to do. However, I want you to take a look at the floor plan that we've got now. So this is kind of what we're working with. I want you to come to what is going to be the back right hand corner of the pool. That's right here, where we have this glass connected to the 3 blocks of quartz. I want you to leave a gap of 2 between this block and the block that we are going to place. We leave a gap of 2 moving backwards, and then place a block of quartz, extend it left 2, up 2, right 2, down, place a glass pane inside the middle, and extend the top left corner across using quartz slab. 1, 2, 3. It will connect diagonally to the house. I want to have an entrance set behind this area here. The way that we're going to do it is by placing black concrete behind the quartz slabs. We'll join the black concrete down to the ground left and right, and then later on we'll have a door there. That is what I would consider to be the main entrance to the house. What we are also going to do is extend this area backwards. These 3 blocks of quartz that we have here can be extended back and joined to the back portion of the house like this to create a walled off area. What you can also do is you can extend the black concrete around this area. The only thing is, you're going to want to leave the last 2 blocks at the end here untouched. You can fill the top of this in with what I would suggest to be quartz slab. You're more than welcome to use quartz block, however quartz slab of course has the cool property of allowing you a little bit more headroom inside. So we'll end up with this walled off area such as this. You can place light blue glass pane around the quartz area. Take gentle care not to place pane where we have the 2 empty spaces. These spaces are rather important because I want you to place stairs coming off of them. Place blocks of quartz underneath and extend the stairs down to the ground gradually until you eventually have a staircase. Next to the staircase, I want you to basically just create a column of blocks of quartz that just kind of like box the stairs in a little bit. That's pretty much all you've got to do there. What we are then going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're just going to wall off this area by placing a right angle of block of quartz here, just joining corner to corner. We'll deal with that area in a little bit. So now we have created this. We've created quite an impressive looking frame. Very well done for reaching this point. The next thing that we're now going to do to make things easier on ourselves is we're going to fill in the back portion of the frame. On the right side of the build, we extended upwards and left a gap underneath the block of quartz. I'm going to recommend that you completely fill in the right side like you just saw me do. The back portion of the build, completely fill it in using block of quartz, and I would highly recommend filling in the left side of the frame also. The reason being is because there's loads and loads of windows, there's loads of openings on the front of the build, you really don't need them on the back. You are more than welcome to add them on the back, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just me. I would also recommend filling in the roof using quartz slabs. This should be quite simple. If you connect on top of the blocks of quartz that we just placed, if you connect the quartz slabs rows that we have already kind of joined together, and then if you fill in the middle, then we will end up with a really cool looking roof. We're setting ourselves up to simply fill in the house. We are making a frame. We've made quite a bit of it already. All that's going to be left once we get there is the details. Once this roof has been filled in, we will be one step closer to actually getting to the point where we can add in those cool details that you would have seen at the start of the video. But it's very important to do these steps as to actually make the frame so we can actually fill it in. So that is what the roof will look like. But that's not the only thing that we want to do, of course. We want to add a second floor to the house. It's quite easy to add because you kind of already know where it goes, whether you realize it or not. We have quartz slab on the front of the build. I want you to extend that quartz slab backwards and into the house. This is where the second floor goes. I have my house configured in such a way that the lower part of the house is kind of open plan a little bit. I'm going to let you completely add a second floor in, and then you can make your own judgments of how you kind of want to fill in the interior. Just because we are adding a floor into the entire second floor, just because we're actually physically making the floor, doesn't mean that you have to keep it that way. It's just an easy way to design the build and to actually get it to the point where we are able to make those customizations. I find it's easier to start with a blank canvas rather than a half-painted one. So that's the sort of shape that we're looking for so far. It's a pretty cool shape, if I do say so myself. Why don't we add a couple of defining characteristics so we can see this thing come to life? If you come all the way to the front left hand side of the build, and place black concrete one row inwards, joining the top and bottom together. And then if you leave a gap of 2 between that black concrete and place another row of black concrete, gap of 2, black concrete. And now if we start applying this backwards, if we leave a gap of 2, black concrete, 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 come across now and leave a gap of 2, black concrete, gap of 2, black concrete, gap of 2, black concrete. And then if we start coming towards the back again, leave a gap of 2, black concrete, gap of 2, black concrete. That will give us this. What we can do with this is we can fill in between all of the black concretes in using glass pane. You are going to want to select though, more than likely, I'd recommend it. You are going to want to select one particular set of glass pane to leave empty, maybe even this one as a matter of fact, that you can then add a stairs in to the top of the house here, and you'll be able to walk up and infiltrate the second floor of the house. But you can do this to pretty much any of these, maybe even along the back if you like, and really make a feature of it. However, the rest of the pairs of black concretes are going to want to have glass in between them. So you're just going to want to do this, coming all the way back. So here, and here, and here. So it's a really cool feature. It looks really good. So now that you have done that, we can add a little bit more to the house. So for instance, I'm going to start here by the entranceway, and I want to connect the wall next to the entrance down to the ground, just by using a few rows of block of quartz, just to fill that in. The area to the left here, this is also going to be an exit. I'm going to use a few rows of birchwood planks to fill this area in. This is kind of a relaxing area before you get to the pool. I'm going to add birchwood planks coming backwards in between this area until you get to about here. And then I'm going to add a row of block of quartz. And on the left side, I'm going to add a vertical row of black concrete. You'll have to patch this in using quartz slab. I'm going to leave a gap of 2, black concrete, gap of 2, black concrete. And you'll just have to patch all of the black concrete in using quartz slab. There's going to be a door on this left side, and there's going to be a window here. So you've kind of now just discovered the purpose of this area. It's to get out into the pool. You're more than welcome to add a couple of slabs to gently kind of like drop you down into the pool like this, if you like. Now that we have done that, we are going to flip over towards the back of the house a little bit. And we're going to join this quartz block wall down to the ground, like this. I also want you to join this quartz slab to the left, and it'll hit the house. I want you to extend the corner down, and I want you to place block of quartz to join down the corner. Now, the purpose of this area is basically just to have another entrance into the house. It makes the house way more fun. So, if we grab a door, and we place it about here, just to kind of visualize where the entrance is going to be. First, we're probably going to have to add another row of block of quartz to meet the door. I want to place some black concrete next to the door, across the top, and I'm going to place black concrete and extend backwards. Now I'm just going to fill this little area in here using black concrete. And I don't know where this block went, but we're going to be placing a block of quartz here as well. and that'll just be like a nice sort of back door to the house. What we're also going to do is this little area here, you might kind of like think of it as just like a bit of a relaxing area. So we're kind of going to section it off. We're just going to use some block of quartz, and we're just going to fill the inside of this in using birchwood plank. So this is kind of like another just relaxing area. You might keep a couple of goodies back here as well, just kind of like stashed away from everybody. It's going to be a cool part of the house. Now that we have done this, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done a huge part of the house. The next part of this, though, is not exactly so fun. What we have to do is this. We basically have to dig out all of this grass. So, from this left side here of the house, we have to dig out all of the grass on the front here, and all of the grass moving backwards to the back entrance, this grass here, just in between, and also the grass leading you to the main entrance. It's very important that all of that grass gets dug out. This grass here, not so important. This grass here, inside of the frame, not so important. So, this is actually going to take quite a while to do, ladies and gentlemen, and just to let you know, you've got to dig out one layer of grass, 2, 3, 4. You've got to dig downwards 4 rows. I'm actually digging down until I can see the bedrock and then the space underneath my world. So that's exactly what I've got to do. And once that has been done, because I don't want to subject you to it, it shall look. So this is what it will look like once you have dug 4 rows out of all of the areas that I showed you. Well, maybe not exactly. I mean, I'm in a super flat world, which means that I'm kind of like in this empty void underneath my actual house. But you should have something similar once you have dug 4 rows down. And once you've done that, that's great, but there is something else we have to do. You'll notice that around the base, we have all of these rows of block of quartz. We have to dig out underneath all of these rows of block of quartz, and we have to replace these rows using block of quartz. The reason being is because this base has a few different layers. It's built on a few different levels. You're going to see any grass or whatever material might be present if you do not replace these blocks. So we're going to go all the way around, and anywhere that we have grass on the sides of the base, we will dig it out and we'll replace it with block of quartz. That will take a long time, of course, so just to save a bit of time. So this is what it will look like once you have dug out underneath all of the structure and replaced it with block of quartz. As you can see, it really does make a difference. It's going to look way better once we actually add in all of the pathway. And you may be thinking to yourself, surely we're done now. That's it, right? We're done. Not quite, I'm afraid. So, the next thing that we have to do is dig out 2 areas. This pool area here and this pool area here. So we have to remove all of the grass on the inside, completely dig all the way down. We have to dig down as far as we have everywhere else, so that'll be about 4 or so rows down. Get it all dug out like this, and make it nice and even and level with the rest of the area. And of course, underneath where we dig out, like towards the sides, we're going to also want to fill in using block of quartz as well. So that is going to be this area here and also this area here. Both of these have very distinct purposes that you'll see at the end of the video. So of course that will look. This is what it will look like once you have dug out both of those areas all the way down as far as we have everywhere else. And you will also notice that in the relevant places, such as where it connects to the wall, we've dug out the grass and we have formed a solid quartz wall instead, as it does look a bit bit better. I'm not crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I realize how much time that does indeed take. That's a very lengthy process that we've done. So please make all of those changes for yourself. You dig out all of the area, you add quartz underneath the relevant points, you dig out both of the pools, you add quartz underneath the walls where necessary, and once you're ready to move on, we can move on. But of course, make sure that that's done. Pause if you have to. Once you're ready, hit play and we can continue on. The next thing that we have to do is we have to add a small building entrance here, just right of the main pool, which is on the left side of the build. You take the top back right hand corner of the pool here, move down one, and place 3 blocks of quartz to the right. 1, 2, 3. You move forwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You then want to extend across to the left by 2 using quartz slabs. You want to fill the top of this in using black concrete. You want to join the sides, pretty much the right and back, down to the ground using block of quartz. Like this. You will have created kind of like a little hut, really, is how I would describe that. You can fill the bottom of the hut in using birchwood planks. And you can extend the birchwood planks forwards to make it even and level with the corner of the pool. You can place a door left or right underneath the, or maybe even we'll just have a double door actually, just here underneath the 2 black concretes. If we crack open these doors and if we just dig an area into the pool, I would actually highly recommend flooring the pool as well. So to floor the pool, I would highly recommend using some birchwood planks because it's very complementary. Quartz, black concrete, birch really look nice together. It really is just a nice color combination. There's something I particularly like about it. So, you feel free to use that or a different flooring material. But that's not the only floor that we actually have to add in at all. So I want you to grab your block of quartz and I want you to take the corner of this building very close to the little hut that we just made, right? You take the bottom corner here and you extend it forwards by 1, 2, 3 using block of quartz. Add another row on top of it because we really want this area to be separate, right? So now that we have created this wall, I'm going to dig out these 3 rows of block of quartz here. And I want to place inside and backwards a row of black concrete that kind of comes along the top. And I might even make it a solid wall, like I might just place like 3 rows of black concrete like this. We want to be able to get inside of this area, so I'll tell you what, I'll add a floor inside. The floor is also going to be birchwood planks as well. So the floor is just going to be entirely birchwood planks like this inside of this area. From the outside, we're going to want to dig out a 2x2 gap, or you could just have like a single door maybe something like this, or you could have a double door. It really is completely up to you in terms of doors. And I'll just have a little window just here off to the side. Maybe it'll be like a double window like that. That actually looks alright. And this is going to be a room all by itself. I might even replace underneath the doors actually using some birchwood planks because that would look a little bit better, but that's the entrance to the room anyway. The last 2 things that we want to do in regards to these rooms right here is I'm going to grab the orange terracotta, the water bucket, and by the way, orange glazed terracotta, and I'm going to use a little bit of glass block. And I'm going to fill the tops of these buildings in. So this building that we're filling in on the right with orange glazed terracotta, 1 row away from the top because we want it to function as a pool. This area here is what I would describe as basically a pool house. Like it's an extra little mini house just off to the side from the main house. Like this. And this area here, it's actually kind of like a bar/brewing area. And it's going to be made in the same way. We're going to have the orange glazed terracotta. Just because I'm feeling an affinity to it for some weird reason. I don't know why, I just feel as though that I should use this one in particular for this build. Feel free to use any material you might like. So fill it all in using orange glazed terracotta and you'll have two nice big pools. I like the idea though of adding natural light inside of these rooms, so if you kind of create a system like this, in which you can dig out certain areas that will look good, and if you can dig these out and replace them with glass block, in between the, like if you measure it out so it's like nice and even, like where we have this glass, like it's kind of cool to be able to look into the room below, especially when it's got stuff in it. And it's also very cool once you're in this room to actually be able to look above and see people swimming around in the pool and stuff. I'm not so bothered about this room because this is like a private pool house, but that area is very cool to actually have there. Now that we have done that, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're cracking on here. We've done a huge portion of the house. We just have to add a couple of roads in here. Or pathways, I should say. Same thing, pretty much. So we're going to be using some stone slabs because it contrasts very nicely against all of the materials that we've used so far. And I want you to come all the way over to the left side of the build where we have this 3-row gap just on the left side, right? So what we're looking to do here is create a pathway system. It's quite easy. If you start off by placing 1, 2, 3 stone slabs even and level with the ground outside of the build, and slowly repeat this, except dropping down half a row every time, you should find that this correlates quite well with the rest of the build. So, if you repeat this, 3, drop down, 3, drop down, 3, drop down, and then eventually you will have to drop down to 2, however. Like once you get to this point, 2, drop down, you will find that this is about as low as we actually go. So when we hit this point where we're placing just 2 here, we'll want to extend the path around and connect to our little pool house here. We'll want to extend the path across and it will join backwards, or I should say forwards to the front of our build. So we just want to have something which will look a little bit something like this. We'll just build it on this side as well, join it together, so here and here, and then in between these 2 rows, here, 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 and here. And now you might be able to see like how important it was that we replaced underneath all of these walls. Like as you look around, we'd be looking at grass otherwise, so it's quite important. But we also want to extend this pathway here forwards, coming towards the back of the build, and we have to do it a few different ways. So it's actually, you know what, it's actually very similar to what we did to get down. Going back up, we have to place, if we build along this wall, half a row up, going that way, you want to place 1, 2, 3 stone slabs. And then again, half a row up, 1, 2, 3. Half a row up, 1, 2, 3. Half a row up, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we can just join in here. We can extend these across here. We actually want to come up a little bit here, so you can just like join up half a row, and then you can extend across, and now you have a pathway which will lead you onto the top of the pool house into this relaxing area. We want to join all of these rows across as well, so I actually messed that up a little bit, but you want to join these rows across here and here. These 2 blocks here, you can just like extend these forward and join, and the same thing coming all the way down. So you can see how we've kind of like reached this position here. Let me just fill that little area in. So you can see that we've now got stairways coming down. That's about as low as it goes. It connects to the pool house. It connects backwards to the back door. It connects the back of the pool house together with the relaxing area. And all we have to do in a very similar fashion to what we have been doing is we can now just come towards the entrance and you can place 1, 2, 3, half a row upwards, 1, 2, 3, half a row upwards, and 1, 2, 3, half a row upwards, which we can then fill in this little area here, and you'll notice that it's all spaced out in such a way that all kind of, as you look at it, it all kind of just goes together, doesn't it? And that's no coincidence. It was built that way, so that's why we've specifically like used 3s and stuff, and that's why we've dropped down to 2s and what have you. So what we're also going to want to do just here on the right, just right at the pool house, we're going to want to grab some grass block and some jungle leaves. Probably going to want to fill this in with grass. We'll have to grab our block of quartz as well because I've just noticed that we've got a little gap here, but that's no bother. We can easily just fill that in with block of quartz wherever we've missed any. So this area is nice and grassy. You can even add a little bit of jungle leafage if you want, maybe even some flowers and stuff. I'd recommend adding a little bit of jungle leaves here next to the pool house. I would also recommend, of course, like this area here, this is a relaxing area, so feel free to add things that you might find relaxing, such as like benches and some flowers and stuff, and you know, stuff that you kind of just like want on this side of the house. I'll show you what I had in store for the original version once we reach that point. The last little bit of decoration here. This is basically just like a little bit of a raised grass area, so you can place a few jungle leaves here, maybe even some at the back as well, and you can place some like block of quartz on the side and around, and you can kind of like section this off, and you can place some like glass pane around just to kind of like have a cool little bit of grass, a little bit of greenery. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. Believe it or not, we've actually made the entire structure of the house. It's all done. It's been a bit of a weird ride to get here, but yeah, we've kind of finished it. Why don't we take a look at this thing? So this is what your modern base will look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the frame is completed and filled in. We have completed all of the pathways. We've completed both of the pools. We have completed the relaxing area. We've completed the second floor. We have all of our bases covered. This is what the base will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. I just realized what I said. We have all of our bases covered. Somebody stop me. So what I'd now like to do, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have completed this base, now that it's ready for furnishing, I'd love to show you the original version of the base, and maybe you'll get a couple of tips on how to lay out the base and what you can do with the inside. So what we have to do is hop into my special teleportation portal. Woo, woo, woo. I'm going through the portal. It's crazy. Whoa. Rough journey. So here we are back at the original version of the base. As you can see, it's largely the same, except I have added a couple of finishing touches, ones that you might want to add for yourself. So we get in the base the exact same way. We walk down this series of stone slabs right here, and the first build, or part of the build I should say, that we encounter is the underpool brewing house. So inside here, and it's a very simple design, we just have a brewing room, and we just have loads of barrels and potions, and this is basically what I just use as a bit of a potion storage, and we've got a little bit of music in the corner and some paintings. It's nice and well lit up, and we can still see people swimming above us, which is very, very creepy, but I kind of like it. So outside of the pool house, we of course have the opposite pool house, so the brewing room over there. What I should be calling the pool house is here. So this basically just has a few things that you're going to need to survive. It's basically an extra bedroom, so a couple of beds, chests, a little bit of an enchanting area, bit of smelting, place to keep your armor, that sort of fun stuff. It's just a cool little room offset from the house that just has a little bit of everything that you might need. So as we come around here and we walk up these steps, I think that we'll probably explore outside first. So we can keep coming up to the back of the build here, and we could, of course, we can hop into the actual pool itself, or we can have a bit of relax out here. We've got a couple of we've got like a blast furnace for some reason to cook. Probably overdoing it a little bit with the blast furnace, but furnace to cook some food. We can relax. We've got a little bit of umbrella. We've got some nice comfy seats. Lovely. And we've got a couple of chests just to hide a couple of things away. We have 3 main entrances into the house, really. So we've got the back door there, which we're not going to go through. We have the second story entrance, which is over there. But the main entrance, which is what I'm concerned with, is right here opposite the main pool. So if we walk through, you'll notice that we have a large amount of armor stands, so we can keep all of the stuff that we're going to be using in these armor stands and in these chests, and we can keep it all nice and kind of organized here. We have a much larger enchanting library for some of the more detailed and skilled enchantments. Plenty of storage, nicely decorated, plenty of paintings. It's kind of laid out in an interesting way as well. So like you can see into the other half of the first story of the house, we kind of have like an open ceiling here where we have all of the bookshelves. If we do come into the other half of the lower part of the house, you'll see that we've got an enhanced smelting area here. We have a little bit more of specialized tools such as fleshing tables, cartography tables, more storage. We can get out into the actual, like the main pool here, and you can look down into the brewing room, which is kind of cool. A little bit of a relaxing area here. You could hide some chests and stuff out here too. If we come all the way back through the house, we can come all the way up to the second floor, and on the second floor, you know, just a little bit of decoration. We can keep some redstone contraptions and stuff in this chest. We can play a little bit of music, but this is pretty much where like the main relaxed bedroom is. Like this is one of my favorite parts of the houses because you can kind of like look out onto kind of like the surroundings, and you kind of like feel high up, and it's nice and clean feeling, at least. Like it's just something about that I really like. And then this is the second story. This is kind of just like an outside balcony area. You can do whatever you want out here. You could put any number of things really, but that's pretty much the house, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing to the channel, as that will keep you up to date with all of these awesome builds that I'm making for the channel. Remember to hit that little bell if you want to make sure that everything's going to be sent directly to your sub box. You almost won't get stuff unless you do click that little bell, so that's really, really important. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to make any other builds by me, we make city builds, we make more survival builds, we do some goofy stuff over on my second channel. Check it all out in the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section. I'll leave a playlist pinned for you. I've made loads of modern houses, loads of modern mansions that I think that you guys would be interested in seeing. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very, very much. I'll see you in the next one. Let me jump off of something as to show my appreciation for all of you. Goodbye.